Hello, my name is Jenna Gaussman. I'm a career counselor at Santa Monica College and I work in the Career Services Center. So today I am going to be taking you through an SMC Career Services Workshop Series. We're going to be talking about college to career. And as you can see by my screen, this is about connecting your education to your career success. So first of all, is there options, is there possibilities that there is more than one career out there for you? Absolutely. But how do you find that perfect place, and how do you find a good space where you're really engaged and full of joy going to work, right? Well, here at the Career Services Center, we have a plan of action for you, and which we're going to go through in this workshop today. So first of all, as you can see here, it's about exploring self, taking some time of reflection, taking a step back, and doing maybe some of our career assessments, taking our career planning class, but also just evaluating what is your purpose and what really drives you in life. The other thing we help you with is we need to explore majors. If you are, you have to do general education to obtain an associate's degree or for transfer. So this is a perfect opportunity to explore different classes and nuances that might be a good fit for you. And then also careers. We're going to be talking about matching careers with majors, and that there's a whole slew of industries and companies and different functional areas that will be a really good match and might be the best fit for you. Because take a look, there is an absolute process that we can take you through and making you discover this. So what we do at the Career Services Center through career counseling and through our career planning class is we do take you through a sense of discovery through a very formalized career planning process. Then we teach you how to explore your options. And thank goodness for the internet now. It's all there at the touch of a Google search. But we teach you how to explore the options and really decide, evaluate your choices. And then we talk about making choices and making a decision. And then we take action. And we put together a strategic plan for you in order to achieve your educational and your career goals. This making choices, always the most difficult part of the process, because we feel that the decision we're making today is going to be that decision for the rest of our lives, but not true. As a student, are you feeling anxious? Feeling a little bit scared about making this choice? It's all part of this decision-making process, and you're not alone. Most of us are not sure it's all going to work out, but I'm here to tell you it does. And it's about finding that space, and especially that major where your GPA can be as high as it can be versus struggling and not wanting to come to classes. If you're struggling with some of your coursework or your major, who wants to show up for a job where they're not getting feedback about and recognition about how they're doing? And that's how we feel as a student when we're getting those A's and B's, right? All right, and just to prove my point, the facts, let's take a look. What percentage of college graduates are in a career unrelated to their major? So not related to, like you might think, like I'm a nurse would have majored in nursing. That's an absolute correlation. What percentage of college graduates are in a career unrelated to their major? Is it 30%, 50%, 75%? Let's take a look. 73%. That's 3/4 of individuals with a college degree, a 4-year degree, like from UCLA or USC or CSUN. They are in a career completely unrelated to their major. I have a colleague who is in charge of public relations and communications at Fox Studios, and he majored in English. And he said it was the best major for him, even though most people would think he would have majored in communications or business, right? So keeping in mind that there are so many opportunities for you, that it's about completion and it's about engagement. I want you to keep that in mind as we move forward here. And I've got 3 examples. So we've got Heather Palmer, who's in marketing, a writer, producer, and video and editor. We have Anae Rodriguez, who is a biology teacher in high school. And then we have Greg Niles, who's a senior software product designer at Apple Computers. Let's see what they majored in. Because this one we would think communications, this one we would think biology, and Greg we would think probably computer science, right? So take a look. We have psychology, we have art history, and we have sociology. And bet you Anae got to go over to Europe or to Asia and got to study some amazing, go through museums and do maybe a study abroad all around art history. It goes to show that what we major in does not always translate into what we end up doing with our lives, careers. I'm gonna bust some myths here. Career decisions like major choice, they're irreversible and of life and death importance. Or is it okay for people to change their decision and the world will not end? Let's see. Career decisions like major choice are irreversible of life and death. No, that is not a fact. Actually, the fact is it is okay for people to change their decision and the world really will not end. It happens all the time. Most individuals change their major 2 to 3 times while they're in school. So it's okay to be exploring and to kind of be getting some professional assistance from the career counselors in regards to maybe the best fit for you. There's more than one career out there for you. Got to trust me on this. Most of us have 3 to 5 careers in our lifetime. And so keeping that in mind, that the decision you're making about your career today is not going to be your career until you're 65 years old. So you will have opportunity to build and change it based upon who you meet, different organizations you work for, different mentors that you meet, and you'll be able to definitely change it. So we would rather see you make a decision than no decision. All right, we got some influences, don't we? We always do. We have influences on our life. Personal factors, cultural factors, social factor, information, psychological factors. These are factors all affecting our decision making. And what I see after having been at Santa Monica College for almost 20 years is that our cultural factors and our personal factors are really the 2 components that really drive us sometimes with our major and our career choice. And this is parental influence, the dreams that your parents had for themselves, that they have passed them on to you, and the expectations that you, the sacrifices they have made, that you'll move forward and kind of do what they wish they had the opportunity to do. But sometimes it's not the right choice. What they want you to do is not always the right place for you. A student of mine came from a culture and a family of nurses. They were very adamant that she go into nursing and that this was really the only direction for her. And working with me and going through the career planning process, she discovered that she loved makeup. She loved Sephora. That's where she worked. And I thought she was a makeup artist, actually, because she was just so animated in my office. Turns out she was the cashier at Sephora. And as you guys know, that line is like on a Saturday is wrapped all the way through the store, but she loved it because it was helping women feel better about themselves and all the different colors and brands of makeup. And so she landed on communications as her major, and actually just graduated. When she had her major figured out and she was more engaged at Santa Monica College, she put in her action plan for transfer and just graduated from Cal State Northridge with her bachelor's degree in communications. So, and it's going into marketing and public relations, I believe. All right, so keep that in mind. Also, dilemma major. Maybe we don't know what we want to do, but all my years of counseling, I know every student that walks in my office or into a career counselor's office, they always know what they don't want to do. Always. Always. So we have a tool on our website that if you were to Google Career Services Center and then dilemma major, SMC, so Career Services Center, SMC, dilemma major, ELIMI-MAJOR, you'll have access to this. And basically what you do is you do a little reverse psychology, you take a look at it, and you eliminate every major that you know for sure you don't want to do, And what happens is it will bubble up that you'll be left, instead of 100 majors to choose from, which is completely overwhelming, you'll be left with somewhere hopefully between 5 and 10. Much, much more manageable to do that. So remember, sometimes reversing it and looking what for sure you don't want to do helps. You can also go to UCLA or USC, look up their undergraduate majors and take a look and eliminate all the majors you don't want to do there as well. And you'll get the same outcome. Okay, so here's our 7 steps though. We actually have an action plan for you to follow in order to get you from Santa Monica College to the achievement of your educational and career goal. The first one is the career and major selection. Like I was just saying, meeting with a career counselor, taking our Counseling 12 career planning class, which is offered every semester. This will give you that opportunity to really dive in and get to know yourself, like I was talking about in the process, and really kind of take a minute, take a deep breath, and step back and really start to focus on yourself and what motivates you and what do you value and what do you want from work and even from your college experience. That's when we also, based upon your career, we determine your educational goal. Do you need a bachelor's degree? Do you need a master's? Do you need a doctorate? Do you need an associate's degree? All of those different degrees, we can definitely chat with you about in the Career Services Center as well. Because we know it's very confusing and there's, it all depends on what you want to do though. It depends on what the educational goal is. Very important, step number 3, we need to identify your transfer schools. If you have decided that you want the bachelor's degree and you want to transfer, what's the best place for you? What's the best campus for you? What's the best program for you? And in working with students, I have so many students that start off in my office, their first semester with Santa Monica College. Jenna, I am going to UCLA and that's it. This is the only place I want to go to. In fact, this just happened because it's a mid-season right now at SMC and because it's April 2020 right now. And what happened is this one student of mine had her eyes set on UCLA communications. She got into Berkeley and without a doubt, she did her research quickly without even knowing if she was in at UCLA. She committed to Berkeley. And she just said, this is just a better school for me. This just feels like a better fit for a transfer student. And so off to Berkeley she goes. So keeping that in mind, that you do need to identify your transfer schools. Step number 4, I'll tell you what, this is the most important one. And I have a video that's coming up in just a minute about SMC involvement. Getting engaged on our campus holds you with us. It gives you a sense of community. And it's going to give you that opportunity to really get to build friends, build relationships with professors and staff and faculty and administrators and other students. So this, I cannot tell you how important this is. Once again, meeting with a career counselor 101 will help you identify that SMC involvement, but cannot reiterate how important that is. Step 5, job search toolbox. This is the part that it's hard for all of us to do this, but it's not too early to have a resume done, to have a cover letter ready to go, and to have a LinkedIn account. Never, never. You don't have to wait until you transfer to the 4-year for that. And then number 6, let's take all that learning, all that on-campus SMC engagement and things, and let's apply it to the outside world. So this is through internships, a job that maybe is related to your possible career. It's also about service learning. We have a program with, we partner with a lot of professors on just volunteering and getting out there and trying on some, trying on some new shoes, so to speak, or trying on some new clothes and seeing, let's see how this fits for you. Let's see if you like the people in the industry you're interested in. Let's see if it's a, let's see if you're super excited to go down to, to Tom's Shoes and work in their marketing or social media department. So it's really an opportunity for you to kind of test drive. You get a test drive career before you commit to it. And then number 7 is we do help students in career strategy for transfer school. When you're leaving SMC, you have it all figured out. We have it all, we have set these 7 steps to success for you. So with the career strategy for the transfer school or post-grad, we help you though We want to launch you and have you be just as successful at your transfer school as you were with us, because it doesn't stop. Career planning is a lifelong process. Number 8, it's not number 8, it's the end. It's success. Why are you in school? Once again, I've asked this question enough that I know the reason you're in school is because you want to increase your income. You want to increase your socioeconomic status. And by doing that, you're going to do that through education. It opens up doors, it opens up opportunities. You go from $15 an hour to $30, $45, or $60 an hour, and possibly even more. So that is why these 7 steps, we have seen it work. We'll take you through it as in the Career Services Center, and it makes a difference. So very simple. There actually is a plan that you can follow. All right, let's watch a video. This is William from the Career Services Center. He interviewed a friend of his, Daniel, who's kind of engaged. He got really engaged at SMC, but he wasn't engaged at the beginning. So take a listen and let's see what he has to say.
I have with me today Daniel Jimenez. He's a current SMC student who's in the 2nd year, and he is a Chicano Studies major who is part of the Adelante and Black Collegians program. He holds a commissioner position within the Adelante Club and has recently acquired the position of AS Director of Activities. He is also involved in mentorship programs with UCLA and Berkeley. Now, Daniel, obviously you don't start in these type of positions, so why don't you start from the beginning? Let's compare your first year at SMC to your 2nd year.
All right. Well, my first year, I wasn't really a good student at all. I was just a bare minimum student. I always skipped class. I never really studied. I only joined one program, and it was really bad, just bad in my opinion. But after my first year, I did a summer program at UCLA. I met so many awesome people, and that just gave me the confidence boost I needed, and it's motivation. So once I started my 2nd year, I joined the Adelante Club. I joined AGS. And it just went awesome. I met so many awesome people and gave me more confidence. So I ended up even joining the board. I became commissioner for the Adelante Club. And then after that, in spring 2020, I ran the AS elections, and I got the opportunity to work with AS, and I'm now a director of activities, which is really awesome.
So those are some huge accomplishments. But obviously, self-sabotage always comes into play anytime you put yourself out there. So what was the deciding factor that pushed you to move out of your comfort zone and into a whole new area you never thought you'd be in?
Well, I think one thing was definitely meeting all those awesome people at the UCLA program, but also just because I didn't really want to end up like my parents, working minimum wage jobs, and they just hate it, and I don't want to end up like them. Also, one thing that's been motivating me for as long as I can remember was I always just wanted to help people, and I think that just is one of the main reasons why I just decided to go for it.
And with everything you've learned and experienced here at SMC, how will it all contribute to your future?
Well, the thing is, SMC has made me grow as a person 100%. I learned so many things here. I met so many awesome people. After meeting the faculty and the staff here, that genuinely wanted to help me and help me achieve my goals. That was just awesome. Made me want even just show that I could do it and make them proud. But also, I met so many amazing friends, and I wanted to stay with that. It motivated me to keep trying, keep going. And then now I'm the person I never thought I could be now. I'm trying to go to UCLA and UC Berkeley. Growing up, I used to just despise schools like that just because I never thought I'd be good enough to go for it. But now I'm actually doing it, which is super exciting. And I think it's only because of SMC, to be honest. Give me the experience, the confidence, and the connections that will definitely just help me achieve my goals in life. It's awesome.
That's all really amazing to hear, and honestly, I applaud you for everything that you've done. And before we end this interview, is there anything else you want to say?
Let's see. I always recommend first years to always just join at least one club, one program, and definitely just go for it and just put yourself out there and make as many friends as you can, and just get a good support group. Talk with counselors as many times as you can. Try to find the best one that works for you. That's what I did. And if you just want just come talk with me about any programs or just getting involved on campus with AS, I'm at the AS office 15 hours a week now. So if you want to just come by, I have a desk there. Just come by and just talk with me. Cool.
All right, so there's Daniel's story. He'll be in the AS office when we get to go back on campus, but what a welcome from him. If you watch this video and you want to go find out more about his engagement at SMC, you can go find him in our Associated Student Office in Caton Center up on the second floor. Interesting though, did you hear what he said? He didn't believe that he was UCLA or UC Berkeley material. He didn't believe that he had this, that was a direction for him. And there was a point he actually did almost drop out, and he then got engaged, and somehow he connected with a great counselor and a professor, and then next thing you know, it just started to snowball. So really keep in mind that it does take a little risk on your part to put yourself out there, and it is sometimes scary to go into a club and just sit down at a club meeting when you don't know anyone. But one thing I love about Santa Monica College is how welcoming our students are to each other, and how they really want everyone to kind of be part of this community. And it's, our tagline is proud to be SMC. It really is true. So moving on, so what can you do to jump in and get started on this college to career? Probably our number one recommendation is that you sign up for Counseling 12 Career Planning. We do have summer, fall, winter, and spring classes. We offer it every semester. It's one unit. Shh, don't tell anyone. Easiest A you'll ever get at SMC as long as you do the work. And it is, as so many students have told me, it's life-changing. You get to do personality assessments. You're going to look at your values, your interests, and your skills. And as one of our students said, when she started SMC, she had a lot of pressure and cultural pressure from her family to pursue medicine. And she still does, and even though she's graduated and has transferred. After taking Counseling 12, she felt more confident in herself and her options for her future. I highly recommend taking this class in your first semester, especially if you're a first-generation student like me. And what she was able to do was then, with this information she had about herself, she was able to go back to her family and her culture and explain why she wanted to go into a different field, into sociology and a counseling field versus going into medicine. So definitely Counseling 12 is a ticket. Remember, everyone's journey is different. It's all about persisting in your interests, persisting in your purpose, and persisting in your future. You know what you want to do. Trust me, you may not have words for it, you may not be able to describe it, but everyone has been given innate talents and abilities that will propel them to be successful in their education and their career endeavors. So finally, if you'd like to make an appointment with a career counselor, even though we are remote right now, please do. All you have to do is call 310-434-4337 to make an appointment with one of our 10 amazing career counselors. We do have the best career center in all of the 114 community colleges in California. We are a premier career center with all of the services I talked about today, with those 7 steps to success, and we will get you to where you want to be. So just come by and see us, or you can email us as well to make an appointment. But we look forward to seeing you online, on Zoom, on phone, and we can't wait to see you. We can't wait to see you in person again soon. All right, everyone, you have a great semester. Wishing you all the best. Remember the 7 steps to success. You've got this. You know more than you realize that you do, and we are here to help you. All right, have a great day.